So I went up to the shop to do another project. And when I walked in there, I looked by the CNC and the Onefinity screen was just laying face down on the ground. That thing's been bumped and bruised a little bit, but it was time for me to fix this once and for all. So I grabbed the calipers, a piece of paper, a pencil, and a tape measure, and got busy measuring the thing out. I've also had issues with the cables on the screen always popping out and not staying in there right. So one of the things I wanted to solve too was make it to where the screen holder would clamp the cables in where they couldn't back out unless I unscrewed them. After sketching it up in my notebook, I went over to Carbide Create and just drew the thing out. I based everything on 1/2-inch plywood because that's what I plan to use. At this point, I just let the CNC do its thing. Once I got done with the first pocket screen cut and got everything cleaned up there, I gave it a try on the screen to make sure my dimensions were right. Thank goodness they were. I did have to route a couple more grooves rather than just put it back on the CNC, but I'll add that to the final file. Rather than dog bone the corners, I did my usual of just taking the file and knocking the corner out. Here they were in all their glory. For some reason, the center hole, like I had that wrong. I thought I did it 1/4 inch, but apparently I did not. So I had to drill them out. This thing wound up being a pretty good puzzle. You know, you sit there and think something up in your mind, and then you draw it on paper, and then you put it in the computer. And then when you go to put it together, you're like, where did that go? At this point, I'm just sitting there fumbling around trying to figure out what is what. Once I got a few of the pieces together, the rest of the pieces just fell in place. While I was fumbling around putting this together and having to duck and dodge around that tripod to get the shot, I figured out another good use for one of these arms. I'll show a picture of that at the end of the video. I used this weather stripping on the top and the bottom of the little clamping spot right there. This way it would hold the wires tight so the plugs wouldn't back out. Hindsight is truly 20/20. I would have drilled these holes on the CNC while it was on there, had I thought about it. Here you can see from the back that second segment I just screwed on. It just kind of locks the wires in there. Now that I've used this thing a little bit, I really like how it turned out. It's been a really nice addition on the CNC, and I wish I'd done it sooner. As usual, if you made it this far in the video, like and subscribe.